Welcome to the Royal Daily Tea YouTube channel. Please be advised all of my videos are for entertainment purposes only, based 100% on my own opinion, my own theories, and my own research. All of my information can be found on the public domain and falls under the fair use guidelines. Please feel free to do your own research. And welcome back to the Royal Daily Tea. So today we're going to talk about the Sussexes and is their wokeness going to equal brokenness for their brand? Are they destroying their brand, Archwell Foundation, with all of the controversy that they are constantly involved in? Now, we all know controversy sells. For Oprah Winfrey, that interview was gangbusters. Okay, CBS was super happy. Oprah was happy because it was ratings gold. You know, controversy sells. That's what people want to see. They dip it up with the gravy. They dip the bread in the gravy and they just eat it up. They love it. It's great for them. And Dax Shepard, I'm sure he enjoyed a lot of ratings on his podcast. I think he's like number 17 on Spotify. So I'm sure he enjoyed the ratings. And the Me You Can't See on Oprah on Apple TV, they're all benefiting from these high ratings because Harry and Meghan are delivering. They're delivering the controversy. They're throwing the royal family under the bus and calling out racism, which is their favorite card to play. The dynamic duo from hell is basically ruining the royal family's reputation, and they're cashing in to the highest bidder. Of course, they're always talking about the death of his mother and racism and anything else they can throw in there for a buck. Because the Sussexes like their money. We all know that, right? This duo is all about money. Show me the money. You know what I mean? That old saying, show me the money. Yes, that's the Sussexes. They don't care about the people they hurt. They don't care that they're hurting the royal family, their family members. They don't care that they cut off Meghan's entire family and Harry's entire family, that their children aren't going to be raised with their grandparents. They don't care. It's all about California, Hollywood, money, fame, fortune, and being woke. But what they're not realizing is that they don't have a lot to offer brands. Besides the salacious gossip and slinging mud, which is getting old fast because he's kind of letting all the goodies out of the cookie jar. You know what I'm saying? He's already throwing it out. Hey, I think the royal family killed my mother because she was dating a non-white person. Hey, the royal family's racist. Hey, my dad was a bad father. Look at me, I'm a victim. Wah, wah. Okay, well, what else you got? What else is there? You're kind of letting the cookies out of the cookie jar. After a while, we're going to all hurt it, and we're all kind of rolling our eyes like, oh God, he's a victim again. He's woke again. I mean, how many times you got to look at him with his arms crossed doing the tapping and talking about mental illness before you literally want to poke your eye out? I hate to say it. Mental illness is a huge topic, and I don't, believe me, I think it's very serious. I don't joke about mental illness. I don't joke about racism. But these two people are making a crap load of money off of mental illness and a crap load of money off of racism. They're pulling the mental illness and the race card, and they're laughing all the way at the bank. And they're hurting people, their families, along the way. And to me, that's bad karma. And that Oprah interview, even though it was ratings gold, actually was very disastrous for them because there's been no less than 18 plus, falsehoods that people have debunked during that entire interview. On my last video, we showed an old video interview surfacing of him saying how he was at peace and he was happy and he was content at Kensington Palace. A lot of people were like, oh, he was forced to. Look, Prince Harry was 6th in line to the throne. No one is pulling a gun to his head and forcing him to be in the Truman Show or be an animal in the zoo, as he liked to say that he was on the podcast. He could have stepped back at any time. Charles has been wanting to slim down the royal family. They even gave him and Meghan the option, and they chose to become working royals. So I'm not buying that whole I was stuck. William, I feel, is stuck. William is going to be the future King of England. He is second in line to the throne. But unlike his brother, Harry, William is stepping up to the plate. William is doing his sense of duty. Unlike William, who is actually probably stuck in the royal family, he's number 2 in line. Harry has many more options, and he's taking them. He's exercising them. And look, I'm not hating someone for playing the game and wanting to chase money. More power to you. Harry and Meghan could have done their Megxit. They could have gone to Hollywood. They could have made movies. They could have done a tap show for all I care. No one cared about that. They could make money however they want to make money. But the fact they're only making money by slamming the royal family, by living off of his dead mother's memory, that's the problem that people are going to have, is because he's only making money because that's his only skill. He is an unemployed prince in a foreign country with no real life skills. If you're raised, with a title, yes sir, no sir, people, do anything that he's ever wanted since he was a child. He's had servants his entire life. He's had people bowing to him his entire life, wiping his butt with dollar bills, surrounded by millionaires and billionaires and royalty his entire life. That was his circle. He doesn't know how to be an average Joe. And it's very apparent when he was on the Oprah Winfrey Show and he was offended that the British taxpayers aren't going to pay for my security. I mean, I'm a prince. I am entitled to that. I was born into that, and my son needs to have that title, and he also needs to have that entitlement. It's like he had no idea how awful that sounded to the average American and the average British person. Like, are you serious, dude? Seriously, you're entitled to that because you were born into it? Meanwhile, you're living in America now and crying on national television because the public isn't supporting you to live in a $15 million 16-room mansion after a worldwide pandemic where most people could barely keep a roof over their head, and you're going to cry on national television? It's like he has no understanding of the world outside of his privileged bubble because he was born a prince. But now he's coming on TV telling people how to be woke, how to think, how to act, who to vote for, if you should get vaccinated, how you should live, how we should spend on the planet. They like to lecture people. That's the problem people have. When William does a speech, he does a speech of, as a planet as a whole, we need to take steps. He doesn't lecture people. When Harry and Meghan get on TV, they talk about wokeness and activism and a lot of word salad. They love their word salad, but it comes off very pretentious and very lectury, if that makes sense, especially when she was sitting on the couch in a $9,000 dress talking about being cut off financially and that we weren't paying for their security. Ugh, it was kind of cringeworthy to listen to them. And then on his most recent appearance, on the Dax Shepard podcast, saying that the First Amendment was bonkers, using the word bonkers when he's talking about mental health, and bonkers is another word for crazy, and attacking the host country he's living in on their freedom of speech. It's like their PR team really needs to put a muzzle on them. Just shut up, Harry. Because their brand is tanking. The dynamic duo is becoming the toxic duo. And as we said before, Hollywood likes you as long as the money's coming in, as long as the ratings are coming in. But after that, and you start becoming toxic, people kind of start separating from you. Your phone calls aren't getting answered. Your emails aren't getting answered. People in Hollywood and show business are fickle, okay? They don't stick around. And I think Harry and Meghan are kind of learning that they're burning their bridges, and they're going to turn around, and those little Hollywood friends, all of a sudden, they're not going to be there. Hollywood people are not the people you align yourself with. We talked about how Harry aligned himself with Meghan and she was a snake, and you don't partner with the snake. Well, Hollywood's full of snakes. It's a den of snakes. They're nice to your face, and they talk about you behind your back. They will cut you like nobody's business, okay? They will cut you like nobody's business. Hollywood is not for longevity. And so now that he's spilling all the goodies on Dax Shepard, he's spilling all the goodies on Oprah Winfrey and on the Me You Can't See, what's left? What other bombshell do you have hiding besides calling someone a racist, calling your father a bad parent, accusing the royal family of killing your mother? I mean, what's next? Right? Pretty soon, people just roll their eyes. They don't care anymore. There's only so many bombshells and toxicity that people can take from a dynamic duo. So they had this supposed $25 million deal with Spotify to produce Archwell Audio, their big podcast. And they had their episode, which I believe aired in December of 2020, which wasn't great. The ratings wasn't great. But here's the thing. We're in almost June of 2021, and there's not been one other podcast. There's been one podcast. Well, if you have a $25 million deal and you do one podcast in like 7 months, what's going on? Why aren't you producing podcasts? Are you not getting guests on your show? Are people not listening? Did Spotify cut ties with you? Now, in March, they did come out and defend their deal with the Sussexes, because a lot of people were very angry when Harry and Meghan got this huge deal with Spotify, because Spotify does not pay the average person, the musician or podcaster, very well. They get paid very little, like cents or pennies to the listen. And here come the Sussexes with a $25 million deal, which is really not fair to the average person. But again, Spotify is probably thinking they're going to get huge ratings, and they get one podcast. So I can't imagine that they're happy with the Sussexes right now. And to top it off, Harry went toe-to-toe with Joe Rogan over the vaccine. Joe Rogan isn't my favorite cup of tea, but he is the #1 show on Spotify. He is their #1 money-making podcast on Spotify. And I just looked it up. Archwell Audio is not even in the top 100 podcasts. Not even in the top 100 right now. Where the hell are they? I believe Mammal Sounds was above them. I mean, that's pretty sad that you're Harry and Meghan, look at us, $25 million deal, and you're not even in the top 100, and you've had one podcast in 7 months. Me spells trouble in paradise. I don't think Spotify is happy, and I won't be surprised if they part deals or they part partnerships, because, like I said, Spotify probably has a get out of jail card or a fail safe where if these two don't produce what they're supposed to produce, they're not going to get paid $25 million for one podcast that's not even in the top 100. Are you kidding me? Spotify and Netflix, they partner with people, and it's based on ratings and how well their programs do. So I know with Netflix, it was about a $50 million multi-year deal. They have yet to produce one show. I believe Harry's doing the Invictus docuseries that's coming out in a couple of months. But let's be real. Netflix did not sign Harry and Meghan for them to do children's programs and Invictus, because they want to do educational programs. Nobody cares about Harry and Meghan's educational programs. They wanted a reality show. They wanted all the juicy gossip that they gave out to Oprah and to Dax Shepard. Okay, Netflix wanted all those goodies for themselves, and I think they're probably a little pissed. Because if I was Netflix and I was paying someone $50 million to come on there and do a docuseries and to spill some secrets, and you're out there already telling everyone all the good stuff, what is left for Netflix? What is left for Netflix? There is a rumor that back in 2020, when they started Megxit, they had a camera crew and a photographer following them around doing those charity things like, oh, here's Meghan delivering a dish to a homeless person, make sure it's on camera, oh, take a photo. And they would literally leave 15 or 20 minutes after they showed up for a charity event. There was the whole thing with the Remembrance Day, remember, where they filmed themselves and photographed themselves going to an LA cemetery and laying wreaths down on the soldiers' gravestones. Remember that publicity stunt that they pulled? Made a big deal about it, right? Because it's so important to Harry. That wasn't important to Harry. That was just a publicity stunt. Why would you have a camera crew? Why do you need a photographer? If it's important to you, you just simply go and do it by yourself. And the funny thing is, they actually didn't do it on the Remembrance Day. I believe it was the day before the Remembrance Day. They just wanted to make sure they had the photo and it was on camera. That's why we all know it's fake, because who does that? It's for PR. Well, why? Because this couple likes to control their narrative. They don't want any negative press. They like to put out those fluff pieces, right? But what's happening is no one is buying those fluff pieces anymore because they see all the crap that they're doing. So you can put all the nice little photos of yourself petting ponies and feeding the homeless and putting wreaths on fallen soldiers' tombstones, but when you turn around and call your family racist or accuse the royal family of murdering your mother because she was dating a non-white person and saying Charles was mean to me, he wasn't a good father, it kind of outdoes all those good deeds that you're working so hard to sell us. You know what I mean? It's like you're kind of not helping yourself here with all that negativity and the controversy. Even though it's great for the ratings for your pal Oprah and for Dax Shepard, it's not helping you and your brand. It is not helping you. So now you got the Spotify deal that I believe is dead in the water. You have Netflix, where he has yet to produce a show. But let's be real. Netflix is not going to spend $50 million on an unemployed prince with zero producing background and a D-list actress to do children's program and Invictus and educational purpose programs because Meghan likes to be educational. It's ridiculous. We know there's going to be there's probably going to be a Diana biography with Harry reliving it minute by minute because he's always got to cash in on his mother's death. So there's going to be something about his mother, Princess Diana, and there's probably going to be some kind of behind-the-scenes docu-series about Harry and Meghan. Maybe they'll call it Megxit or the year after the royal family. I guarantee it. Harry and Meghan sold themselves out because that's how they got the deal with Netflix. Okay, that's how they got the money. Is because they probably promised Netflix some kind of salacious reality show, something about his mother. But like I said, he's spreading all the goodies out right now to the public. So if I was Netflix, I'd be a little pissed, especially if they're doing a reality show that they're giving the public all the good stuff. Because by the time their stuff comes out, no one's going to care because they already know all the stuff, right? So they have that Netflix deal, which isn't that great and exciting, and it's yet to be seen what they're actually going to produce. They have a Dead in the Water podcast. Then we have Meghan's children's book, The Bench. Okay, The Bench. The Bench hasn't come out to great reviews. A lot of people felt it was too adult for children. Again, Meghan pushes her social justice and social issues hard. It's like she can't just have a child's book. And I know children need to learn a lesson of some sort, but a child wants to be entertained. And in this book, it's all about social issues. And it's like, for children, they want to see something more colorful. And this was, I don't know, a lot of people were finding it not appropriate for children. Again, it was more of Meghan giving her word salad to the public. I don't know. I think it's being released next month. So I guess we'll see how it does. I personally don't feel like it's going to do that great. That's my opinion. Maybe you differ. So you have all these things that they're doing. You know, you got the what is it, the podcast, the Netflix deal. The Me You Can't See with Oprah, that's probably a success because it's ratings gold for Apple TV, but it'll be interesting to see how the rest of the episodes do. I believe people just watched to hear what Harry had to say, but now that we all got the goodies out there, is anyone really watching this docuseries with all the other celebrities? Let's be real here. I think we're all over celebrities. In 2021, the celebrity appeal is fallen quite a bit. Award show ratings are down. People do not like to hear celebrities give their opinion, especially political opinions. And Harry and Meghan, as royals or ex-royals, are technically not supposed to talk about politics, yet somehow they're always kind of in there. You know what I mean? They're kind of pushing their agenda and their social issues, like get the vaccine onto people. And in America, we don't like that. We don't like people getting in our business. You know what I mean? And of course, when he made that comment about the First Amendment, calling it bonkers, it was like, oh, Harry, please take a seat. Put a sock in it. Does someone have your PR on speed dial? Because we need to give them a phone call. Because, honey, that's not what you need to be doing right now. Like, seriously, does anyone know how to tell him to muzzle it? He is not helping himself. So all this wokeness, in my opinion, is leading to brokenness. Not to mention, they live a very lavish lifestyle. $15 million mansion, $1 million a year for security. I've never seen Meghan wear the same thing twice. She does not apply the Kate Middleton fashion where she re-wears her outfits. Her engagement photo dress was $75,000 for that photo. I don't know if she's ever worn that dress again. Meghan Markle likes to wear $9,000, $10,000 dresses. She likes nice things. And like I said, she was a woman who didn't grow up with that kind of wealth. So she's out there, wearing Princess Diana's tank watch and her Cartier love bracelet and $10,000, ball gowns to sit on the couch and do an interview on Zoom. Meghan's living it up right now. But I don't think the deals are 100% solid. I don't think Netflix and Spotify are 100%. I don't think that book is going to do well. Now, Harry does have that job with that company where he's helping them be woke, I guess. But I don't know, guys. Let me know your thoughts. Do you think that the Sussexes are going to have problems in a couple years down the road? Do you think their wokeness is going to equal their brokenness? Do you think that their personal brand is being tarnished by all this negative controversy? I feel like they did not help themselves by sharing all of this negative family stuff, because a lot of what they say is 100% hearsay. They have zero facts to back up any of their accusations. Zero facts. So I don't know what that's going to look like, but I think Charles and the royal family is done. And there's an old saying that my father told me that I remember to this day: you don't bite the hand that feeds you. And Harry and Meghan have completely bought and severed that hand off with the royal family. So if they ever get in trouble down the line, Charles is not bailing you out. You done closed that door. These two definitely have not learned to not burn bridges, because what comes around goes around. And like I said, in a couple of years, they could be in the middle of financial ruin, bankruptcy, maybe through a big divorce. I guarantee you guys, it's coming. It's coming. So leave your thoughts below. Let me know what you think. I appreciate all of you for stopping by the channel. Please like, share, and subscribe. And stay tuned, guys. I have some other awesome videos coming up very soon. Bye, guys.